Okay, I'm gonna talk much, much faster, fair warning. What would you do without your car? It's a simple question, but have you ever thought about it? If left to your own devices without a vehicle, how many days could you survive? I don't cook, so I know that I wouldn't survive very long. I would die. But I just had to answer this question recently because my car blew up. Yes, I was driving down 71 South on Thanksgiving Day on my way to bake my first ever pie with Katie Crossan, and my car exploded. And I was left without a vehicle for 3 whole days. As a person who doesn't cook, that's bad. Not only was I stranded, I could die. But I didn't die because I moved to Over the Rhine. Yes, I just moved to the Duveneck Flats 2 months ago. And I decided on the day after Thanksgiving, I had no ingredients in my house, so I was gonna venture out. Went to Metro Nation, got some mulling spices. Then I went to Venice on Vine, and I got my first ever Vine Street pepperoni pizza. I walked across the street to the Vine Street Kroger and got apple cider and red wine. Yes, they have fruits and vegetables and red wine, check it out. And then, on my way home, I met Bilal. Bilal is the imam in the mosque across the street from my loft. He explained the 5 pillars of Islam to me, and as we were wrapping up, Santa Claus came by in a Segway and gave me a candy cane. Not a bad way to be stranded, if you ask me. But this is important because I just moved from a very big house, 3,500 square feet to be exact, with a 2-car garage, a backyard, and a huge, huge space. I moved to a 900 square foot apartment with no yard, no garage, no space of my own. But that's okay because I have the street. Yes, I have an outdoor living room, okay? I have hundreds and hundreds of neighbors within a very small distance from my house. I can go shopping, I can go eating, I can have religious conversation all in my outdoor living room. This is important because it was very available in the 1800s and 1900s until the 50s when we started having cars. And where the American dream was to have a cul-de-sac and to drive into your snout garage. We got rid of our sidewalks and we got rid of our neighbors. And we started doing everything in our cars. We became addicted to our cars. We had our food in our cars. We had our entertainment in our cars. And yes, we had our sex in our cars. And you have to admit it, we've all been there, okay? We became addicted to our vehicle. Every transaction was tied to it, and with it came unintended consequences. Traffic. With the vehicle came the expressway. With the expressway came traffic, congestion, pollution, stress to our everyday lives, and really, really shitty development, okay? And this happens in Cincinnati too. With traffic came wide streets, 80 feet wide, okay? And a separation of uses. We stopped being able to walk to school. We could no longer walk to work. We can't even walk to the grocery store. We have to get in our car for everything. And this is not what young professionals want. No, in fact, CNN reported in 2007 that YPs are driving a national trend back towards urban communities. And 64% of us choose our city before we choose our job. So what do we look for in a city? I'll tell you. We look for communities that are clean, green, and safe. We look for housing that we can afford. And we look for a neighborhood that we can be proud of. And Forbes reported that 9 out of the 10 neighborhoods that we can be most proud of as young professionals have one thing in common. You don't need a car. We don't want to drive anymore. And neither do baby boomers. Yes, we have this in common with baby boomers. The AARP just reported that they're also looking for convenience, independence. They want to walk to the grocery store. They want to walk to a movie, and yes, they want to hang out with young professionals. So these communities that are so attractive to us, Hyde Parks, Mount Adams, how do we create more of them? How do we get more people here? We can't. It's illegal. Since the 1950s in Cincinnati, the zoning code has prohibited the same types of development that we hold so dear. So let's scratch this shit and let's do it all over again. How? The recipe is form-based codes. The ingredients: work, transit, retail, parks, 8 units to the acre, and walkability, all within 1,500 feet from your house, because in stilettos, I'm not walking any further than that. I'll just tell you that much. So how do you do it? Okay, form-based codes start off with a vision, okay? The community, the neighborhood comes together, and we say, what do we have, and what do we want to be? And so you say, okay, what do we have right now? Let's see what we got. In Cincinnati particularly, we've got cul-de-sacs. Yuck. We have to get in our car to drive to work. Yuck. We have wide streets and snout garages. No fun at all. So do we want to enhance it? Do we want to protect it? Or do we want to trash it and throw it away and start new? So if we trash it, what do we want to be? Do we want to be an urban community with lots and lots of retail? Yes. Or do we want to be a suburban community where our kids can safely walk to school? both are okay under a form-based code, and both have mass transit, including streetcars, which I firmly support. So how do you do this? Luckily for you, we have a comprehensive plan that's happening in Cincinnati right now. Roxanne Qualls is leading it. Call her, tell her you want to get involved. Help me arm Cincinnati with the tools we need to create tomorrow's great neighborhoods. Thank you very much.